Hi, welcome back again. My name is Krish Kandoyan, I'm the President of London School of Theology, and delighted to be helping you a little bit with your journey through 1 Kings. We come to one of my favourite parts of 1 Kings as Solomon offers a wonderful prayer of dedication to God as the Ark of the Covenant has arrived, the kind of key piece has arrived, now the kind of temple can be open for business. And there's some wonderful bits in 1 Kings chapter 8, and I want to pick up in verse 27. But will God dwell on earth? The heavens, even the highest heaven, cannot contain you. How much less the temple I have built? Yet give attention to your servant's prayer and his plea for mercy, Lord my God. Hear the cry and the prayer that your servant is praying in your presence this day. May your eyes be open towards this temple night and day, this place of which you said, my name shall be there, so that you will hear the prayer your servant prays towards this place. Hear the supplication of your servant and of your people Israel. And when they pray towards this place, hear from heaven, your dwelling place. When you hear, forgive. It's kind of an interesting way to kick off an opening of a temple, to explain to everybody that this is not God's house in one way, although it's often called that. Because God doesn't just contain his dwelling into a physical place. Even the heavens can't contain God, how much less a little building, even though it was pretty a magnificent building, a tiny little building compared to the vastness of the universe cannot possibly contain God. And so Solomon's being rightly humble here about the work that he's prepared. And I guess, we sometimes talk about our bodies being the temple of the Holy Spirit, and we don't mean by that our body is the only place where the Holy Spirit dwells. We are saying that God is presencing himself in a different way. We're offering our bodies for God to be in charge of, for him to be acknowledged as Lord and Master. And that doesn't mean that he isn't present, active, working in the rest of the universe. And so Solomon understood that kind of paradox, that he's built a temple for God, but he realises that God is too big to fit inside it. And in one sense, it's acting as a symbol, isn't it, of the presence of God, his encouragement, that he's accessible, that he loves his people. And so Solomon is encouraging people to pray towards the temple, not because that's some kind of magic spell, but more a mark of honour that God is the one that answers our prayers. God has blessed us, he's saying to his people, by giving us this opportunity to approach him. So we Christians, we're not don't want to get too hung up on the idea of physical location, so that we think God's not with us when we're at school or at work or on the bus or on holiday. God's everywhere, and there's nowhere we can be too far away from him. But on another side, God, I suppose because he understands the human heart, he knows what we need, sometimes is generous to his people and gives us, I guess in the Old Testament, this idea of a place that will help us focus our prayers. It's a bit like you don't have to close your eyes in order to access God. That doesn't give kind of 10% more power to your prayers if you close your eyes. But closing your eyes helps you to focus and understand who God is. It doesn't kind of do anything to God. And maybe the same is true with the temple. The temple is a gift from God to help us focus on him, rather than a limiting of God to a specific geographical location. So I think good old Solomon, in his wisdom, understood that and probably folded that deliberately into his prayer. I hope you enjoy the rest of 1 Kings, and I look forward to talking with you soon.